Power isn't given. It's forged. In fire, in struggle, in a choice you make when everyone else thinks you're finished. For the world's most famous athlete, that choice came at age 15. Doctors said he might never play again. How did a frail, impoverished boy from a tiny Portuguese island, a boy nicknamed Crybaby, defy his own body and the odds to become the undisputed king of football? To understand the legend, you have to understand the fire that fuels him. Our story begins in Funchal, Madeira, a place tourists call paradise. But for the Aveiro family, it was a struggle. Cristiano, the youngest of four, shared a single cramped room with all his siblings. His father, a kind man battling alcoholism. His mother, Dolores, worked as a cook and cleaner, often juggling 2 jobs just to put food on the table. Football was his only escape. He played in the streets from morning till night. His passion was so intense, he was nicknamed Churão, Crybaby, because he would weep if his team lost or a teammate didn't pass him the ball. This wasn't weakness. It was the first sign of a burning, obsessive desire to win that would later define him. At just 12 years old, he had to make a heartbreaking choice. Leave his family, his island, his entire world behind. He would often call his mother, crying, begging to come home. But he stayed. Life in Lisbon was lonely. At the sporting academy, the other boys mocked him relentlessly for his thick, rural Madeiran accent. He would often call his mother, crying, begging to come home. But he stayed. He channeled his loneliness into work. While other boys slept, he would sneak out to the gym. He started strapping weights to his ankles, believing it would make him faster. And then, at 15, disaster. During a routine medical exam, doctors discovered he had tachycardia, a racing heart. The diagnosis was brutal. The condition could trigger a stroke or a heart attack during a game. He had to stop playing immediately. His dream was turning to dust. Dolores, his mother, flew to Lisbon. Faced with an impossible choice, she authorized a high-risk laser surgery to cauterize the problematic area of his heart. It was a gamble on his future, on his life. The surgery was a success. The doctors recommended weeks of rest. Cristiano was back on the training pitch in a matter of days. The boy who faced down his own mortality was no longer just a talented player. He was a survivor. And he was hungry. The world met Cristiano Ronaldo on August 6th, 2003. Sporting played Manchester United in a friendly. A skinny 18-year-old with frosted tips and an arsenal of stepovers tortured the United defence. Defender John O'Shea later joked he needed an oxygen tank at half-time. On the plane home, the United superstars, Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, pleaded with their manager, the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson. "You have to sign this kid." Ferguson agreed. He handed Ronaldo the iconic number 7 shirt, worn by club legends like George Best and David Beckham. It was a massive burden. In his early years, he was criticised for being a show pony, all flash, no substance. But under Ferguson's guidance, a father figure he never truly had, he began a relentless transformation. He lived in the gym, sculpting his body into a perfect athletic specimen. He stayed late after every practice, honing his free kicks, his heading, his weaker foot. He evolved from a flashy winger into a ruthless goal machine. The culmination was 2008. He led United to a Premier League and Champions League double, scoring 42 goals and winning his very first Ballon d'Or. The boy from Madeira was officially the best player on the planet. In 2009, Real Madrid paid a world record 94 million euros for him. The pressure was immense. 80,000 fans came to the Bernabeu just to see him present it. It was here that Ronaldo entered the defining rivalry of his career, and perhaps of football history. Ronaldo versus Messi. Barcelona's quiet genius against Madrid's explosive force. This battle pushed both men to superhuman levels. For 9 years, they shattered every record imaginable. Ronaldo transformed again, becoming a pure predator in the penalty box. His goal stats were absurd. 450 goals in 438 games. More goals than games. He led Madrid to 4 Champions League titles in 5 years. A feat unheard of in the modern era. The peak of his power was perhaps the overhead kick against Juventus. A goal so perfect, so audacious that the opposing fans rose to their feet and applauded. It was a moment of pure footballing godhood. And in 2016, he achieved his holy grail, leading Portugal, a perennial underdog, to victory at the European Championship. Injured in the final, he refused to surrender, becoming a manic, passionate coach on the sidelines, limping and screaming his team to victory. It was the ultimate proof of his leadership. Most players would retire on that high. Ronaldo moved to Juventus for a new challenge at 33, winning league titles in Italy. He made an emotional return to Manchester, and then, in his late 30s, embarked on a new adventure in Saudi Arabia, proving his global appeal was bigger than any one league. But his legacy isn't just the trophies. It's the stories whispered in training grounds around the world. How he's the first to arrive and the last to leave. How he maintains a diet of a monk and uses ice baths to recover, while others party. His iconic "Sue" celebration isn't just arrogance. It's the roar of a man who knows he has outworked everyone. His power is not a gift. It's a consequence. A consequence of the choice he made as a lonely, scared boy. The choice to never, ever lose. Ronaldo's story teaches us a lesson that transcends sport. Talent is just the starting point. It's the obsession, the discipline, the iron will to turn every setback into fuel that forges a legend. His greatest power was never in his feet. It was in his mind. The decision that a racing heart wouldn't stop him, that a lonely childhood wouldn't break him, and that he would simply refuse to be anything less than the best. That is the true power in sticks. If you were inspired by this story, subscribe to Power in Sticks for more stories of athletes who defied the odds. Who should we cover next? Let us know in the comments below.